7, 8. How's the signal? How's the signal? All I got to do is go get some coal oil. It's kind of a drag. Do 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 do. It's kind of a drag. Okay, so let's go get it on. Let me see this one. I will protect it by putting the rubber band over the, whatchamacallit? Yeah, I better hurry up because the rain's getting ready to come in. So I just got to grab me some. Yeah, the paper plates were $5 here. I was at Walmart yesterday. I had the paper plates. I set them up on the, whatchamacallit, and I forgot to ring them up. I don't know how I forgot that, but, and that's not even the half of it. Then I had rang up my bag of red potatoes, which was $3.87, and I forgot to put them in the basket. So, okay, so this is my main phone. So how's the signal? So now all I got to do is put this right here. And so now all I got to do is go down and get some diesel fuel. So I don't know where I'm going to get that from. If I ride up over the mountain, I'd have to turn my leaf spy on, and I'd have to turn my GPS on because I didn't full charge the battery. So, you know, my main heater is down right now. I'm waiting for the glow plug to come for it. And so the heater that I'm using right now, it's all plugged up because I was pouring oil into it. I was pouring cooking oil. And, you know, I was experimenting because people were saying you can pour, you know, used motor oil. Well, you can, but you're not supposed to pour synthetic motor oil in it. And so it plugged it all up, and it does not work good. And it, you know, fumes. It makes fumes. And so that's why I want to go way out to the travel center, because they have biodiesel, and it just burns so much cleaner. As a matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And because it's about to rain, that's why I went and bought this. But you can get this off of Amazon, but I don't have time to wait for it to get here from Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon for $5. I just paid 13 at Ace Hardware. 13 bucks for this. You get it on Amazon for $5. 50 feet of cotton rope. And so I got to put that tarp over the trailer because it's going to start raining. I don't want it to. I mean, it's pouring in there now. So I bought that tarp. I'm going to throw it over the thing. I was telling you earlier that they have material that does not rip, right? They're just not selling it to the people in these tarps, and it's 5 times lighter. I know they have it from being a truck driver. They used to make air balloons out of it, and whatever you try to do, you can't rip that damn thing. You have to punch hundreds of holes in it so the air will come out of it, so you can wrap it up and throw it in the garbage can. They're disposable. It's a material that is strong beyond belief, and it does not rip. Even if it gets, you know, holes in it, it does not rip. But they're not making it available to the people because they want you to keep buying those cheap ass tarps that get torn to shred. You get one little tear in it and it shreds the whole damn thing. They're so cheap and garbage. when they have material right now that's disposable, that is durable, that does not rip. Okay, so it looks like my signal is good. Okay, so it looks like my signal is good. Which is kind of strange for Kalinga. Okay, so we got a couple of people in here, so I'm on my way out of here. I just got to go grab me some diesel fuel, and you know, I might be out there tonight throwing the tarp over, so that's gonna be something. If it rips, it rips, but I got to get some diesel fuel because it's gonna be cold, and if it rains really hard, then I'm gonna be stuck out there for 2 days because the sun's not gonna come out till Wednesday. So let me go out this way, move the jacket off there. It's a good idea to look behind you when you're backing up. But so we're in Kalinga, California at the Dollar General. I got a half gallon of milk. I got one candy bar because I've got like 3 candy bars still at home for making the hot chocolate. It's caramel milk chocolate with sea salt, and it makes the hot chocolate come out perfect. The only thing is that it uses white sugar, but there's nothing I can do about that. I gotta have my cinnamon. I'm using cinnamon sticks. I bought it especially for the cold winter months when it was November and December, because in my trailer it's super freezing, and I use that so that for cold wet feet and cold hands. Just gonna get out of town and go up to Avenel, go over the hill, going through Pine Street here where I used to live, and Mr. Watanabe used to have his plum tree right there on the corner. Then I also used to live right here, right up there on the corner. Yeah, right up there on the corner, that one. So, see how all those kids are riding those electric scooters? They don't ride bikes no more. So they're not getting the exercise. That's going to be detrimental. That's going to have a huge impact on the population. On the health of the population. Yeah, so they were saying that those two surfers, first they were saying that those 2 surfers over in Santa Cruz, the Coast Guard out there looking for them. They searched for like 20 hours before they finally called the search off. And they were searching 90 miles out into the ocean looking for these 2 surfers. Then I went on and I started telling people about the sharks. And then they started changing their story, and they started saying some crazy stuff. So I don't know whatever became of it, right? What happened to the 2 dudes who were sitting out there yelling? earlier everybody had their headlights on, and now these guys driving with them off, turned off. So it looks like we have an 18-wheeler there trying to stay at the hotel. Well, I'll be doggone. Maybe. Going out, we're going east out of the town of Coalinga towards the Interstate 5, and this road here is called Jane Avenue. Janie, like that song, Jane, 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 you're playing with me, hey, hey, had Grace Slick. I believe they also sung the song Miracles. So let's listen to my stereo. I think only the front speakers are on, but you turn on the stereo.
Just like Debbie Deb says, when I hear music, I dance, and I was dancing out.
Yeah. I don't know if the rear speakers, I haven't messed with it yet. But it sounds like the rear speakers need to. But it sounds a lot better than my other car. I know who that is. And I can read on here. Yeah. It says who the artist is. I'm still trying to remember who that guy was who sung last night. It's a heavy-set guy. Yeah, so it's supposed to rain tomorrow and the next day. Straight out this way and then down, up, whatchamacallit, but I don't got my leaf spy. I don't got my leaf spy on because I'm recording. So I guess the best thing to do is go through Avenel and juice it up a little bit and then proceed from there. Even though I got a half gallon of milk back there, I'm hoping it's going to be good. But if I had a full charge, or if I had my leaf spy turned on, I could go straight out to the interstate and get up to the travel center that way. Yeah, because I definitely do not want to drive this car through a bunch of freaking mud and muddy water. So I'm just gonna stay put. If it's muddy, I'm gonna stay put for 2 days until it the sun comes out on Wednesday. Somebody said that they were gonna come by and take a look at that car. So I was kind of waiting to hear from them. If I had a garage, I would attempt to repair it myself, but I don't have a garage, so trying to repair it, no way. Out there in the dirt. I still think it could probably just be the brakes need to be bled. You could have air in the line. It's a possibility. But if it had a leak, the reservoir would be low, and it's not too low. Now we're going southbound, actually southwest on the 33 highway. Just left Coalinga and going towards Avenel, California. And we're riding on pure electric power. I've gun it a little bit. I'm doing 56. You got to be careful with them, because whenever you're at a standstill and you accelerate, it spins the wheel, because there's no transmission, there's no gears. That's why they say to buy special tires. But I'll probably end up putting on those Ukraine tires, because I can get a whole set of them for like $250, and then just have somebody put them on. The last guy that put on my tires, and I used to get my tires installed from this person over in Hanford, and nobody else is as skilled with tires as he was, and he was very affordable. And so now I started trying to look for someone over in Fresno, and it was no bueno, man. He put some effed up freaking valve stems on the tires, and even at the dealer, I had the dealer put the tires. They don't even check them. They don't even put them in water. I had the dealer put on 2 brand new tires, and they didn't even check to see if there was any air leakage. So it was, problems with it from day one. So when I get these tires from the Ukraine, I need to find somebody who knows what they're doing. To install them. But yeah, I like those tires from the Ukraine. They look way better than anything here in the United States. You can check them out yourself. They're called, you look at the tire tread on them. They're called Promozis, Solazos. Primori Solazos. And they're inexpensive, and they look like freaking expensive top-notch tires. Look at the tread on them. And that's what I've got on my Toyota. Those are the ones, but they've always been a problem because these people don't know how to freaking install them. Not even the dealer. You have to find a good tire shop guy who knows what he's doing, who's been at it for a while. Better turn on the lights. There we go. It's got a high beam on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to juice it up a little bit before I attempt to go over to Mountain, because there ain't no charging stations over there, which there should be. It's a travel center. There should be some chargers, but I guess they're figuring since there's, you know, chargers 10 miles to the south and 15 miles to the north, I guess they feel like they don't need any, which is a crying shame because it's on the route between Hanford and Avenel, which everybody and they mamas who work out at the Avenel prison use that route because they live in Hanford. They commute every day from Hanford to Avenel, right by that travel center, which is on the Interstate 5 and 269. So we're about 4 miles south of Avenel. We're traveling on the 33 highway, and I still got to go. And oh yeah, I got me one banana too. Still got to go and get some diesel fuel. Now they got diesel fuel in town, but 8 times out of 10, it's not biodiesel. And right now, with the setup I've got, it's leaking fumes. I do not want to use no freaking dinosaur freaking polluting chemical benzene excreting garbage freaking diesel fuel. I want some clean vegetable oil diesel fuel, the kind they make out of corn and soybeans. And by the way, I have this thing of mayonnaise, and it's been out since probably summer. I kept it in the lately out of the refrigerator, and well, I bought me a grip of ham yesterday from Walmart, and so I made myself a fast ham sandwich last night. And by the way, the cod was very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. I should have grabbed a tilapia for tilapia. Tilapia is way, way better than this stuff. This stuff tastes like you just opened up a can of tuna. And it was top dollar too, $10 for 4 pieces, 4 little small pieces. What the hell is wrong with these people? And but anyhow, so I made myself a quick ham sandwich, and the mayonnaise tastes like paint, because that's what they make paint out of, soybean oil. That's what's in the mayonnaise. Do you think they're doing this on purpose? So I'm thinking I'm gonna toss that mayonnaise and throw the mayonnaise away. It tastes nasty. Tastes like paint. Now we're about 2.5 miles from Avenel, and I'm going to have to charge the car up a little bit so that I can make it over the hill and back. That'd be great if they put a fast charger around here. Even if they put one out at the travel center, that would be wonderful. They put a fast charging Chadmo. They're so much better. You don't have to sit there for an hour. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you're down the road. Where when you're charging at 200 milliamps per module, it takes like 2.5 minutes just to move up 1/10 of a digit, like from point 1 to point 2, basically to charge up 100 watts. A 100 watt hour takes 2.5 minutes, but when you're plugged into the fast charger, it takes probably like 10 seconds for each 100 watt hour. Point 1. To go from point 1 to point 2, it takes like 5 seconds or 10 seconds. So it's pretty neat when you can see your kilowatts replenish so quickly like that. It's pretty nice. Thus makes you want to get some more kilowatt hours, right? Get a better battery pack. And in so doing, I'm discovering that they're bullshitting the people. I wonder why they made it 600 pounds. They don't want your They don't want you to repair it. They want you to buy another one, $5,000, right? I mean, it's their prerogative. They're the ones building it, right? I can understand that, but for poor people, it's kind of rough, dude. We need a payment plan. For $5,000. Oh man, these people are using this one. Let's see. It's not working right now anyway. Yeah, that thing's not electric. Yeah, but it's still turned off. See the light up there? Why doesn't it zoom in? There. See the light? It's turned off. This thing is hosed. $70,000 and they can't get their ass out here and fix it. Right? How long ago did I report it? Like 2 weeks ago? That is poor after sales service. $70,000 for this thing, and they can't get their ass out here and repair the damn thing. And it's remote control. I wouldn't be surprised if they're shutting the damn thing off. It doesn't connect to any electricity, right? It's self-contained. It runs off solar power, and it's remote controlled. So I don't know if there's some freaking weasel in there doing the crap, right? Who's, taking some kickback off these people, the people who are selling gas here in town. And you know what? I'm just gonna get the dirty diesel. F it, dude. I ain't gonna sit there and go out here and freaking charge this damn thing up. I'm just gonna get the dirty diesel, and that's it. So I need to come out here and wash my clothes tomorrow. Well, oh wow, it's gonna be muddy. I think, yeah, Tuesday I'm supposed to be somewhere. I hope it don't rain that much. I hope it does not rain that much. I'll just call him tomorrow and tell him to change the appointment, because I'm going to be mudded, swamped in mud. Won't be able to get out there. I should have picked me up an extra gallon of water. It's so stupid. I was right there in the store. I was looking right at it. I guess I got 1.5 gallons of water. I'm just gonna get me some of this crappy stuff, and if worse comes to worse, you know what I might do? I should have done it today. I should have done it today, because it was sunny and warm. I should have taken that heater out, put it on the bench, and switched out the glow plug. These glow plugs go bad so much that they ought to sell them in 3-packs, right? Like $12 for 3 of them. But no, they're selling them for $25 for one of them. Kit. With the tool to take it off. I've had so many of these go bad already. Because I'm turning it on, turning it off, turning it on, turning it off. Some people are actually putting those in these cars. But you have to drill for the exhaust. So I hope this dirty ass freaking dinosaur fuel doesn't make me sick. Sometimes it will make you sick. It'll give you like influenza. It's some nasty shit. But I've only got 21 miles. I think I'm gonna drop a little bit of charge on here anyway before I take us back out home. But I'm just gonna go and get the fuel, get the diesel fuel right here. I'm not gonna go over to Mountain because that'll take too long. Over to Mountain. Back up here so that, there we go. Okay, now I gotta put my jacket on. And back up. There we go. Okay. Oh man, I forgot to park the thing. I gotta put my jacket on because this cold is all get out. Well, I'll just rough it. Here we go. I open that thing with my fingers. Work your fingers to the bone. What do you get? Bony fingers. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was biodiesel. It's been biodiesel before. I think it was last year or the year before. They were putting biodiesel in here. Then it went back to the nasty, dirty stuff. What is the people talking about here? Yeah, I mean, I understand riding the electric bikes. That's good, you know, to get out. But, you know, the exercise is awesome from riding. And so hopefully bikes will come back. I know most people ride mountain bikes. I've been wanting to get a bike for a long time, but where I live, you can't even ride a bike out there because the dogs will bite your ass, right? And yeah, so I guess I need to relocate myself to a bike-friendly place. Like some places down in Los Angeles are excellent, but look at all the smog until they straighten their ass up and fly right and get with clean energy. You know, you're breathing in all that freaking smog. And now they just freaking got rid of all the clean emissions, which is absolutely freaking insanity. So all those people riding bikes, they're going to start breathing that that crap. There's a guy riding one of the old time bikes. Did you see that? Yeah, younger. I don't know what. Well, I do know. It's in the media. You know, they're doing stuff to make the people stay inside. That's why you don't see everybody walking around, even though other cultures, people do walk around. Look how many people are outside walking around. And you think this is bad. Coalinga is even worse. Remember that song? Nobody walks in LA, walking in LA. Yeah, they are doing to make the people not go outside, but in affluent neighborhoods like Santa Cruz, everybody's outside, freaking walking down the road barefooted, carrying a surfboard, everybody jogging, riding bikes, having conversations while walking. But in the low-income communities, everybody stays put. They stay in there glued to the TV. There's a Nissan Leaf right out there. It's been there forever. It's a little beige Nissan Leaf. You could take that thing, take the battery out of it. It's probably only got 5 modules that are bad. You can sell those modules on eBay. They're going for like $100 a piece. And there's 48 of those bad boys in there. And those people are just sitting it, let it sit there just collecting dust. It's been there for years. People don't know. You can make what I'm trying to make, a 5,000 watt system with one of those batteries. If it's got a 40 kilowatt system in it, you can make yourself a 30 kilowatt system. You know how much a 5,000 watt system costs? When you've got a battery pack there that'll put out freaking 40. What is 5 times 8? 40. Right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, 40. You know how much a 5,000, not a 40,000, a 5,000. You know how much a 5,000 watt hour battery costs? $650. Do the math. $650 times 7. Build a kick-ass solar power station with that battery pack that's in there. That's why they're selling used modules that can have anywhere from 24 to 40 modules in that car sitting in there right now. And people are selling these modules right now on eBay. You can go on eBay right now. People are selling those used modules for over $100 a piece. Do the math, 100 times 40. So I want to get me a couple of these modules and see if it is true. Does 2 modules put out a 5,000 watt hour? If it does, that is amazing. So, I just got to figure out what kind of load to put on it. 12 volt load. Oh man, I forgot to stop and charge the damn battery. Now I'm gonna have to plug it in at home. I'm probably sitting on 2 kilowatts right now. I don't got my leaf spy plugged in because I'm using this phone to do the YouTube because it's the lightest. It's the lightest phone. So there's not much light left, and so I got to get out there and try and put that tarp over the roof. So I have to put my jacket on and everything like this. It's going to be a little bit rough doing it in the dark. It was bad enough trying to do it in the daylight. Then the wind started blowing. Made it even a little bit worse. And in a way, it kind of helped because it pushed the tarp over the roof. But so we shall see if I'm able to do this. Even if I had a decent ladder. I had a decent ladder one time. I think I paid like $200 for it, but it got ran over. And so I don't even have a decent ladder for when I'm working on the one side. The west side, it's a little bit more difficult, and that's where that obstacle is. It's on the left side, so I can't really get to the top of the house to maneuver it. And when you get, to be older, it's not like when you were younger. Now you're like, don't want to climb these things. It seems very difficult to do this stuff. When you're younger, you just climb right up it. You don't. Older, you do think about it. So I'd like to be having a beer or something while I do this, but coffee free and all this stuff a month. Two more hurdles I have to jump through. And it's been like this. It's been like this for like 5 years. Constant freaking financial turmoil. I'm surprised the camera's as bright as it is. It's usually darker, or it's probably because I'm able to see the screen better now that it's getting darker outside. But yeah, that I was looking for the cranberry because the one at Walmart is like $8, and that they didn't have any beet juice, which is freaking stupid. And when I checked out, I should have put only 4 stars. I put 5 stars. I should have put only 4 stars because they were out of the freaking beet juice. And so I was looking for the cranberry juice box for just a straight cranberry juice. It doesn't have any sugar or anything. So you have to take the cranberry juice and mix it with like pineapple juice or pomegranate juice. The pomegranate juice is really, really, somebody ever starts a shop that has fresh squeezed fruit juices and vegetable juices. But for right now, this is all we got. The pomegranate juice is really, really good. And so, you know, pomegranate juice has natural sugar in it. So you can take the cranberry juice and mix in a little pomegranate juice with it. And what I've been doing is I've been taking a little bit of the pomegranate juice and I'll mix in a little bit of sea salt with vinegar. And it's pretty awesome. And right now they're having a sale on the pomegranate juice on Amazon, 2 for $12. So I've got it in my basket, but I haven't placed the order. And so I was looking for the cranberry juice, and I said, you know what? Why am I buying it with the water? I don't need the water. I just need the concentrate. I can make my own, you know, mix it with some pineapple juice or mix it with some pomegranate juice is even better. And so I started looking for the concentrate, and I'm like, $13. I said, they were selling that much concentrate in the frozen department for $2. And now they had 6, 7, 8 different brands of it before. All different stores had their own brand of concentrated cranberry juice. Now they all took it off the market. You can't find it are being bozos about this organic stuff, and you know, people are catching on to all this stuff that has medicinal properties, and so they're doing this kind of bullshit. Because you don't think that's affecting their bottom line? People catching on to all this stuff? You don't think that's affecting their bottom line? It's like, it's the equivalent of this. People have difficult trying to understand this, that it is a business. Just like when you take your car in to get repaired. That is a business. Just like when you take your TV, well, you don't take them in no more, they're disposable. But when you used to take in your TV or your VCR to get repaired, that is a business. When you take yourself in to get repaired, aka your health, when a professional fix you, right? That is a business. They're not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. You think they went to school because they wanted the goodness of humanity? And it's going to be dark. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put that tarp in the dark. I might just let it freaking rain in there. It's winter long, so what's the difference if it rains a little bit more in the living room? So I made it down for 2 days. Let's see how much it rains. But I should have. Now I just spent $13 on this rope, not even gonna use it. It's just crazy. But yeah, I do not want to drive this car in the mud and the muddy water. So I hope it doesn't rain that much over here. I hope it just sprinkles just a little bit. But it's supposed to really hit the mountains. The Sierra is supposed to get all kinds of 1 foot of snow. So hopefully it'll miss this spot here. The and then like tie it down and then pull it this way and hope that, you know, a whole bunch of wind doesn't come and rip up whatever I tie it to. And I got a broom handle and it has a thing at the top where I can put the string up there, and I put it like that and go over that big thing that's on the top of the roof there and try new unit. But I got 2 gallons of fuel. So, and even the efficiency is bad off of this unit for some reason. It's all off of this unit for some reason. It's all plugged up with but thankfully it's not as cold as it was in December and January. Otherwise I'd have had to just order another heater right away. And this is what's for dinner? Beans, or what was I gonna have? All right, well, thanks for tuning in. I take all these phones and I don't know when I'm going to be able to charge the car because it's going to start raining. I ain't getting out here and plugging it in the rain. Hell no. And so looks like I just got to hunker down for 2 days. Drinking all day. Wow, we're going to, huh? I was trying to find the video. From my radio to my video. Yeah. Let's talk about denial. I've got the heater working, but this heater it's just barely been working. I better turn it up a little bit higher. It's kind of struggling, and it'll probably shut down because overheat. So I'm gonna this one has a weird thing on it. Okay, I'll put it on 6. When it had the fluorescent display. But I guess they listened to you, right? And so they made it to where it was safer so that it doesn't turn on by itself. They made it more difficult. They also effed with the battery charger so that it doesn't burn your house down when you're away. And then put this thing on there so that it doesn't accidentally, right? But this one I like this one a lot better. It has a liquid crystal display, so you can see everything what's going on in there. You can see it right here on this liquid crystal display. So I'll turn it off here in just 1 second. This little girl, she's 17 months. She's like 17 months old. And her parents are recording her as she's going through her phone. I just hate it when I sucks and I had to spend $13 on it. You know, I sort of cut the rope and use. I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility, but no, you need 2 50-foot. I thought I could do it with 25 feet, but it doesn't. I suppose I could have tried it, but it doesn't look like it would have worked, but it might have. So what's going on here? Okay, we're going to talk about, let's talk about denial, deceiving yourself, ego defense mechanism. This is what people do to themselves so that they feel good about yourself. And it's good to feel good about yourself, right? But a lot of people lie to themselves, and such are bigots. And yeah, so we'll talk about ego defense mechanisms, and I'll turn this heater off in just a second. His wife was waiting for him. Okay. Yeah, the one girl that I was watching on these live feeds, she's going crazy now. She was showing everything today, just out of the blue. I think she's Russian or something like that. She speaks a foreign language. Okay, I want to show you something. This is for educational purposes. It's pretty warm in here, so let's turn this off. That's Joe Rogan right there. Okay, remember I told you Roseanne Barr was talking to what's his name? Turner. What's his name? I don't even remember his name. Tucker? Is it Tucker? And now look who's talking about it. Joe Rogan is talking about it. Okay? I didn't watch this, but what they're doing is they're really smart at psychology. They understand it better than anybody. And they know that something so subtle, if they do have an IQ of 400, some of them toddlers, okay, manipulating them psychologically. And so I think what they're doing right here, isn't telling anything about it. So why isn't the mainstream news media saying anything about it? Do you hear what they're talking about? Did you read the title of this? Okay, and let me put home. Oh, it's being charged. Just a second, I'm gonna put it up on the window. Maybe that'll give it a better signal. Yeah, so I'm sitting in here. I got my electric blanket that I got from Amazon. And it's not even turned on. It turns off automatically. And so let me show you this. Okay? So that you can read the title on has that thing been jacked up the whole time? There we go. That's Joe Rogan. Can you see the title? Can you read that title? Joe Rogan. Can you see that? If they're talking about this, what David Icke in this book, The Biggest Secret, has been telling you for 25 years, and now Roseanne Barr came out and she's talking about it, and with Tucker, and now Joe Rogan is talking about it with somebody. Why isn't the mainstream news saying anything about this? They're talking about Epstein files and, this and that, and showing pictures of him spanking this 8-year-old girl or whatever. Why aren't they talking about this? I can't even repeat it. And that heater will turn off in just a second. Yeah, so that's what they're trying to do. Psychologically. Getting you to not do a damn thing about it. Because the word is getting out. This is how they do it. This is how they control it. This is how they do the most atrocious things right in front of your face, and you're too freaking boob tube zombied out to freaking even realize it. And so, let's talk about denial. Um, we drink, do drugs, and fornicate, cheat on, do extramarital affairs, infidelity, and, well, so not everybody resorts to drinking. Not everybody does. But there is a point where you need something to escape the turmoil. But in the long run, it messes you up bad. Because when you destroy your physical health, which alcohol does, alcohol is very, very destructive. It cooks tissue. You could put alcohol, you could put a fish in alcohol and it'll cook it. And alcohol is very, very strong. And they've got some things out there that are almost pure alcohol, like white lightning. White lightning in that little smile. White lightning and I saw the southern star. Yeah. Black velvet, if you please. I thought it was white lightning. And well, there's Everclear, white lightning. Is it white lightning? Moonshine, white lightning, Everclear. And it's very, very expensive. And well, I guess a lot of people are starting to drink mezcal, and they're actually starting to grow the mezcal here in the valley, which is bizarre. Um, but yeah, um, it's no bueno, especially when you're doing it every 3 or 4 days. And even when you're younger, when you're drinking every day, you think you're indestructible, and that shit is tearing you to pieces. They don't really tell the people how bad it is, but some of this alcohol is so strong. I think there's a lot of people croaking over from that crap, and they're not telling the people. But it's very bad because when you hurt the body and you are physically sick, when you wake up and you are physically sick, the body and the mind are inseparable. So, what affects the body affects the mind, and vice versa. And so it just it becomes doubly worse because when you've destroyed the body, it messes with your emotions. So now your body is weak and your emotions are bad, pessimistic, and this leads to further issues with your health. Not only did you hurt your body, but now the mind is destroying it. And and so that's not good. That's not good. And and when you sober up for a while, um you start paying attention to things further on in the future, where when you're drinking every 3 days, you're getting drunk and getting hung over for 2 or 3 days before you feel back normal again. You get in a rut from letting these things build up, these things that you should be taking care of. And so um it's good to stop drinking for a while. Now, there's a program out there that um you remember on Fred Flintstones how they showed they were Fred was doing something. He went to some kind of program. They were imitating this program that's supposed to help you stop from getting using mind altering substances. And they showed it on the Fred Flintstones. And these people were coming out of the mailboxes, right from behind bushes. And well, that's kind of like what it is. And well, I had a suspicion a long time ago that this organization that's in every town across the whole nation and probably the world, but in this nation for sure, they're in every single town everywhere. And well, they're supposed to be anonymous. Nobody supposed to know who they are, which everybody knows who they are. But because they are under this anonymous, this is the perfect vehicle for the extraterrestrials. They can run amok and have their way because they're anonymous. So I've always suspected this. And I have my reasons why. But I think it is. So if you realize the implications of that, you know, an extraterrestrial is Lucifer and the fallen angels. Okay? And you'll never get to the bottom of it until the people acknowledge it and bring it out to the open. The things that are claimed in The Biggest Secret by David Icke, chapter 16, no one has brought it out to the open. Now, Joe Rogan and Roseanne are talking about the subject that he's talking about. But yet, mainstream media will not acknowledge it. Okay? And you'll never get to the bottom of it. You'll never find out. So ask yourself, how do they get away with it? Through these subtle techniques that I just told you. And even though I think they serve a purpose, because some people are deep in denial and they need to sober up and start dealing with their issues. So, to throw the baby out with the bathwater because they're extraterrestrials, I think is wrong, because they're very helpful. In all that evilness around there lurks some good ones. Okay? So it would be wrong to tell people that it's a psychopath magnet, because some people need to sober up, or they never will. So it's wrong to interfere with that. Okie dokie. So we'll talk to you in a little bit. Signing off from Central Valley. It sounds like the wind went down, but I am not going out there and trying to put that tarp up in the dark. If it starts raining, it's just going to rain in the living room. Nothing I can do about it. And and then I got to try and figure out all this stuff. If it rains, it's just going to mess everything. And then if the electricity goes out, so I'm charging up my batteries because the heater works off 12 volts. So I've got two good batteries and that one battery that's kind of iffy. But I'm charging them all up in case when it starts raining, the electricity gets knocked out. Because it gets knocked out real easy out here. And that you're stuck out here for 2 or 3 days from the mud. You can't get out of here unless you have a truck, which I don't. And it's not going to be sunny until Wednesday. I hope the rain misses this spot right here. It's supposed to get drenched in the Sierras and the Grapevine. Snow, 1 foot of snow. But we'll see. I'll do a live stream and let you know what's going on. Would you like to hear about Bitcoin? Doing exactly what I said it's going to do. And I'm thinking that probably I haven't seen exactly, I can't space it. I don't have the ability to space it out to see where it's at. So I'm just going to say roughly 1 month. Probably 2 weeks to 1 month. It's going to make a move. And it'll probably break out to the top, going up. It'll probably break out going up. And if it does, I'll tell you what I think it's going to do. But if it breaks out and goes down, I think it's going to take a dive down to 59, 58. Then it's going to bounce around up around 60. And it's going to dive down some more. And I think it's going to dive down to, well, if it hits 50, those who know it's time to load up. And, well, a lot of us don't have any dry powder to load up, right? And so when it hits 50, it's going to do a flash. It's going to go down to 40, and then it's going to be like at 50, and then it's going to flash. Just like this. You won't even be able to trace it. If you look back in time, in the future, you'll never see it. But I think it's going to flash down to, did I say 39? 39, yeah, I think it's going to flash down to 39. And this is where all the multi-billionaires are going to freaking load up because they've already got their orders in. If you know how to do everything, you can see all this stuff. You know how many people are freaking got their orders in. It's open source. If you know what you're doing, you can see all this stuff. This is what Cryptos R Us knows how to do. And well, I think it's going to do that. And but if it doesn't take a dive in 2 weeks to a month, and it breaks out and goes up, I think it's going to shoot up to 90, no more than 90. And it's going to bounce around up to 90 for another 2 months. Then it's going to make a move. And if it goes down or if it goes up, hopefully it'll keep going up. But I would say there's a 30%, 35% chance that it'll go up to all-time high, and maybe 40% that it'll go back to all-time high, and 60% chance that we'll go take our ass into crypto winter. So it's going to be a while. Okay? So all those people who were hopping in because they thought it was going to the moon, and a lot of people borrow money to put in there. And all those people who put in $100,000, 10,000, 1,000, they're sitting at, the one who put $1,000 in is going to be sitting at $400. Okay? And it's going to be a while. You're going to be sitting at $400. The one that put in 100,000 is going to be sitting at 40,000. 60,000 bucks. Going to be sitting at 40,000 for a while. And so that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's about a 40% chance that we'll get back to all-time high, and 60% chance that we're going to go into crypto winter down at about 40 or 50. Sounds crazy, but they wouldn't have done all this shit for nothing. They make reality fit the stock market so that later on they can say, well, this is it, just like they did in 1930. They keep pushing everybody down and they freaking rake in all the freaking money. That's why they call them whales, because they circle the fish like a bunch of freaking whales to consume the ass. They drive them down deep. That's exactly what they're doing. Okie dokie. Signing out from the Central Valley, Coalinga, California, 70 miles southwest of Fresno, California. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to y'all later.